Good morning, students. So welcome to the second lecture on digital IC applications subject. In the first lecture we discussed about the importance of the DICA subject and why we prefer digital over analog, and so what are all the different logic families that we have and why we prefer CMOS in all those logic families. So this is what we discussed in the first session. So while coming to this particular session, okay, as we discussed in earlier sessions, CMOS having more advantages compared to other logic families, such as where it consists of high integration density as well as low power dissipation. Not only these two, in addition to that, several other advantages also it consists of, such as CMOS having the high input impedance, okay, and also good temperature stability, and it can also able to maintain the good interface with the TTL. Okay, so because of all these reasons, we preferred CMOS over all other logic families. So because of that, if you look outside, majority of the electronic circuits they realized with the CMOS technology only. So because of that, in our subject DICA also, so mostly we are going to focus on that particular CMOS technology only. So in that particular one, we are supposed to study about CMOS technology. First we are going to discussing about the CMOS logic levels. Okay, as we discussed in the previous session that digital systems are going to process zeros and ones. Okay, but in practical they are going to process the electrical signals such as voltage levels. So that is nothing but, so logic 0 and logic 1, instead of assigning for them as a single voltage value, so we are going to define certain range of voltages. So that's what we are supposed to consider. So because of that, first we need to know the CMOS logic levels, and before going to define those CMOS logic levels, first we need to know what is the power supply voltage for that particular technology that we are applying. So in this particular case, we considered plus 5 volts is the power supply voltage. Based on that particular power supply voltage only, logic levels of that particular technology is going to depends. Okay, so because of that, in this particular case, we considered in DICA, throughout DICA subject, so majority cases we are going to consider power supply voltage as plus 5 volts. So because of that, those logic levels we considered over here. So based on that, here we derived the logic levels. Then, so the value, so in between 0 to 1.5, so whatever value we can able to consider that particular one as logic 0 or low. And while coming for, so whatever value is going to present in between 3.5 to 5, that value you can able to consider it as logic 1 or high. And these intermediate values which lies in between 1.5 to 3.5, this will be defined as undefined logic level. Okay, so that is nothing but, so whatever input that we are going to consider in between 0 to 1.5 volts, that it can able to assume it as logic 0, and whatever value we gave in between 3.5 to 5, it can able to consider it as logic 1. But while coming for, so if there is any value occurred in between 1.5 to 3.5, so which is an undefined value. Okay, so that is nothing but, if any value occurs in between 1.5 to 3.5, so that circuit may take any value, either 0 or 1. We can't able to predict, so which value that particular circuit is going to consider. So because of that, so circuit, so we may get the wrong outputs. Okay, so because of that, user itself needs to take care that at any time, so the values in between 1.5 to 3.5 should not occur. Okay, if any value occurred in between this particular undefined region, then so we can't able to predict the output, because circuit may consider that value as either 0 or 1. That we can't able to predict. Okay, so because of that, user itself needs to take care that at any case, so in between 1.5 to 3.5, so those values should not occur. So this is what the CMOS logic levels. For a 5 volts, so like this we divided that particular logic levels. In the same way, if the power supply voltage is 3.3, according to that logic levels are going to divide, and it is 2.2 also, according to that logic levels are going to divide. Anyway, in our Decca we are preferring plus 5 volts. So in maximum cases, so because of that, here I mentioned logic levels based on plus 5 volts power supply for a CMOS technology. So this is the first thing you are supposed to understand. Okay. So then, so next, so very important component in our CMOS technology is so MOS transistor. Okay. So actually MOS transistor is a 4-terminal device. But as per our electronic circuit applications, so we can able to model it as a 3-terminal device. So those terminals are source, gate, drain, and fourth one is substrate. So substrate we can also call it as bulk or body. Okay. So MOS transistor is a 4-terminal device. Those 4 terminals are source, gate, drain, and substrate. Okay. Substrate we can also call it as bulk or body. But as per the application of electronic circuit, we can able to model it as a 3-terminal device. That means, so these terminals, 3 terminals we are going to consider: gate, source, and drain. Okay, and MOS transistor will act like a voltage controlled resistance. Okay, so voltage controlled resistance. That is nothing but, so the equivalent representation for that particular MOS transistor here they represented. Okay, so let it be those 3 terminals. So this one I consider it as gate, source, and drain. Okay, so how I can able to say this will act like a voltage control resistance means, by means of applying the voltage at one terminal, we can able to control the resistance between other 2 terminals. Okay. So based on that particular operation, we can able to say that MOS transistor acts like a voltage control resistance. Nothing but by means of applying the voltage at one terminal, we can able to control the resistance between other 2 terminals. And in digital logic applications, so in two modes of operation that particular MOS transistor is going to operate. So one is either it consists of very high resistance. That state you can able to consider it as off state. And second one is where the resistance is very low. That you can able to consider it as transistor is in on state. Okay. So whenever we are using this particular MOS transistor in digital logic applications, these 2 modes only maximum we are going to use. Whether that particular transistor is because of it consists of low resistance, it becomes, we can able to consider it as on state. If the resistance is very high, we can able to consider that particular transistor is in off state. So these 2 modes only majority cases we are going to consider in any particular digital logic applications. Okay. Okay then. And next, MOS transistor is mainly classified into 2 types. So one is NMOS transistor. One is NMOS transistor, where NMOS stands for N-channel metal oxide semiconductor. Okay, N-channel metal oxide semiconductor, where here N indicates that the type of semiconductor material used to realize the resistance controlled terminals. As I mentioned previously, MOS transistor acts like a voltage controlled resistance. That is nothing but by means of applying voltage at one terminal, you can able to control the resistance between other two terminals. There I mentioned gate at the voltage, okay, and source and drain remaining two terminals, okay, ends of that particular resistance that I mentioned. So in this particular N channel MOSFET, okay, so where N is going to indicate the type of material, semiconductor material that we are going to use to realize that particular resistive controlled terminals. That means to realize that particular source and drain. Okay. So like source and drain. Source and drain. Okay. So that is what? So that N-type material, using of that particular N-type semiconductor, we are going to realize the source and drain. Okay. So this is how the symbol seems to be for that. Okay. N-channel metal oxide semiconductor. Okay. So if you look at this particular one, so there is a gap. So there we maintain in between gate with respect to source and drain. That is because of, if you look at the physical structure of a transistor, so there is an insulating material is going to present in between gate and source and drain. Okay. So that is going to separate gate with respect to source and drain. So to indicate that particular gap, so where SiO2 is going to present, that is an insulating material. So because of that, so where gate isolates with respect to the drain and source. To indicate that itself, we have to represent a gap in between these two. Okay. While coming for BJT, how it seems to be? So BJT, three terminals. So base, emitter and collector. These are all the three terminals. If you look at this particular one, so base is in direct contact with other two terminals, emitter and collector. Okay. But while coming for MOSFETs, so because of an insulating layer is going to present in between, so gate with respect to source and drain. So because of that, there is no direct contact we are going to put from gate to drain to source. Okay. So that is the reason why we are supposed to mention like this. And also in N channel, so with respect to arrow, we can able to differentiate the two different type of MOS transistors as we discussed, N channel as well as another one is P channel. So with respect to arrow representation, you can able to differentiate both. So if the arrow is away from the gate towards source, that itself is going to represent the N channel metal oxide semiconductor. Okay. So this is how it seems to be. The whole operation of this particular one you can able to represent by means of considering this particular equation. Okay. So if you compare this particular with the previous diagram, so where we mentioned by means of applying the gate voltage at one terminal, you can able to control the resistance between other two terminals. If you compare this particular one with that, so here input voltage is VGS. So with respect to gate and source, we are going to apply the input voltage. With that particular voltage, we can able to control the resistance between drain and source. And the whole operation will be defined by means of this particular one, VGS greater than or equals to 0. Okay. So first, if I consider VGS equals to 0, that means I didn't apply any gate voltage. Okay. At Vin, like what shown in the previous diagram, at Vin, if I didn't apply any gate voltage, then obviously what happens? Okay, so there must be a large resistance is going to present in between drain and source. Okay, so because of that, so that resistance value, so which is equals to greater than or equals to 1 mega ohm. Okay, so that itself I indicated RDS greater than or equals to 10 power 6 ohms. And also, if you look at the current across that particular source and drain, which is negligible, very small, which is equivalent to 1 microampere, approximately we can able to consider it as 0 itself. That is nothing but whenever VGS equals to 0, at that particular point, there must be a large resistance is going to present in between source and drain. So because of that, okay, so that particular transistor we can able to say it as in off state. Because of that particular high resistance in between source and drain, there is no conducting path exists between source and drain. So because of that, we can able to say that that transistor is in off state. And next, coming to the second case, suppose if I keep on increasing the VGS value, that's what increasing VGS means. Obviously, the resistance between drain and source is drastically decreases. Okay, by means of increasing VGS, RDS is going to decrease. Okay, so because of that, if you keep on increasing VGS, and once if it reaches to a value of VGS of TH, where VGS of TH is going to represent the threshold voltage of that particular NMOS transistor. So in general, threshold voltage of NMOS transistor, so where the value, so we may consider it as 1 volt. So first let me explain. So what is threshold voltage? So the minimum amount of voltage required so to form a conducting path in between source and drain. That voltage itself you can able to consider it as threshold voltage. In another way you can also say it as the minimum voltage required to make a transistor on from the off state. That also we can able to consider it as threshold voltage. In our case, I considered that particular threshold voltage value is 1 volt. Okay, so initially VGS is 0, then high resistance is going to present in between them. Next, if I keep on increasing the VGS value, okay, once if it reaches the VGS threshold value, where VGS threshold value is, so where that particular transistor enters the minimum voltage that we have to apply to enter into the on state. So once if it reaches that particular one, then this particular transistor enters into the on state. That is nothing but, so the resistance between drain and source so drastically decreases and reaches to a minimum value. So that value is, so which is equals to or less than 10 ohms. So that is the resistance value you can able to get by means of increasing VGS, and once if it reaches VGS TH, resistance value drastically decreases and minimum value you can able to reach 10 ohm or even minimum, okay, less than that. So because of that, now if you look at the load resistance, because of now the resistance between drain and source is very less. So because of that, so this one will act as a closed switch. So because of that, that resistance you can able to consider approximately equals to 0. So based on here definitions, so VGS, as I mentioned, that particular transistor is in off state. If you equivalently described with a switch, we can able to represent with a open switch. And while coming for this particular one, whenever VGS greater than VGS of TH threshold voltage, at that particular point, this particular transistor will act like a closed switch. That's what we indicated with a closed switch for that particular one. So this is what the operation. And while coming for, so here I mentioned another symbol representation for that particular NMOS. In NMOS, so once again there are two types of transistors are there. So one is enhancement and second one is depletion. Okay, in NMOS, okay, N-channel MOS also there are two types are there, enhancement mode transistor, depletion mode transistor. So what is the difference between those two means? In enhancement, at VGS equals to 0, if you didn't apply any gate voltage at that time, no conducting path is going to present. That is nothing but, okay, that transistor is in off state. Okay, then while coming for depletion mode, at VGS equals to 0, okay, even though we didn't apply any gate voltage, there is a conducting path is going to present in between drain and source, that we can able to represent with that transistor is in on state, and for this is in off. Okay, so that is what the main reference between enhancement and depletion. Anyway, in our logic circuit, so mainly we are going to consider the enhancement mode transistor, and representation of that particular enhancement mode transistor seems to be like this. Okay, so because of if you didn't apply any gate voltage, so at that time that particular transistor so will behave like a off switch. So because of that, to indicate that particular one, no conducting path exists between source and drain. To represent that particular one itself, gaps must be maintained over here. Because of that reason only, so gaps. So they mentioned over there to indicate that no channel, no conducting path exists in between source and drain. So anyway, this is NMOS circuit symbol, and this one is a enhancement mode transistor in NMOS. Okay, so that is what regarding this particular one. And next another type is P-channel MOS. Second type of MOS transistor is P-channel MOS. So as I mentioned previously, where P is going to indicate so the type of semiconductor material so that we are going to use to realize the resistive controlled terminals. Okay, in previous case that is N. That means source and drain both are realized with N type. While coming for this particular one, both source and drain we can able to realize by means of P type. So that is the major difference. So while coming for N channel and P channel MOSFETs. So while coming for this, so this is how the circuit symbol seems to be. Okay, for P channel. Okay, so everything is same. So in both N and P, so arrow mark only is going to differentiate. While coming for NMOS, arrow away from the gate towards source. But while coming for PMOS, so it is reverse to that. That is nothing but arrow towards gate from source. So that is what the main difference in the circuit symbol. So while you are comparing both N channel MOS and P channel MOS. And in the same way as we discussed in the previous one, so in PMOS also it consists of two types of modes of transistors, enhancement and depletion mode transistor. In enhancement, even though you didn't apply any gate voltage, okay, no channel is going to present over there. VGS equals to 0, that particular transistor is in off state. If we applied, okay, while coming for depletion mode, even though VGS equals to 0, channel is going to present in between source and drain. Anyway, enhancement only we are going to prefer. So because of that, that's what we indicated over here. So this is the circuit symbol representation for the enhancement mode PMOS transistor. Okay. While coming for the operation, will be defined by means of considering this particular equation. VGS less than or equals to 0. Okay, compared to previous one, PMOS is going to perform the inverting operation compared with the NMOS. Okay, so the operation will be defined by means of using the VGS less than or equals to 0. Suppose first if I am considering VGS equals to 0, that means if you didn't apply any gate voltage across this particular one, then obviously a high resistance is going to present in between source and drain. That value is equals to or greater than 1 mega ohm. Okay, so because of that, if you represented that particular one with a switch at that particular point, that particular transistor is in off state. So because of off state, we can able to indicate that one as a with a open switch symbol. And also next, if you keep on decreasing the VGS value, because VGS less than or equals to 0, first we discussed about the VGS equals to 0, then the transistor will act as an off switch. And next, if you keep on VGS less than 0, VGS less than nothing but if you keep on decreasing the VGS value. Okay, so once by means of decreasing that particular one, once if it reaches to the threshold voltage of this particular transistor, in general, for a PMOS, threshold voltage value you can able to consider it as minus 1 volt. Okay, so anyway, that threshold voltage value is going to vary. So based on the technology and all. Okay, but in our case, in our Deca subject, we may consider it as minus 1 volt threshold voltage for the PMOS, while coming for NMOS, it is plus 1 volt. Okay, so because of that, once if it reaches that particular threshold value, as I mentioned, what is the threshold value? The minimum voltage required to get a conducting path in between source and drain, or in another way, the minimum voltage required so to convert a transistor so from off state to on state. Okay, so that value in this particular case is minus 1 volt. By means of decreasing VGS, once if it reaches that particular minus 1 volt, so then thereafter, okay, a conducting path is going to present in between source and drain. That is nothing but this resistance value is drastically decreases and reaches to a minimum value of so 10 ohms or even less than that. That's what we indicated over here. And this one we can able to represent with a switch, with a closed switch. Okay, so that is what the representation for that. So this is what the operation of P channel MOS. Okay, and one more point you are supposed to remember is, while coming for PMOS, okay, drain voltage must always be less than source voltage. Okay, drain voltage must always be less than source voltage. While coming for N channel, so this is reverse. Okay, so drain voltage must always be greater than source. So these 2 points are very important. You have to remember, while coming for the N channel MOS, okay, source voltage is lesser than the drain voltage. While coming for the PMOS, source voltage must be greater than that of the drain voltage. Considering all these points for NMOS and PMOS, so next our intention is to design a basic building block in CMOS technology.